one's ever heard of you or what I'm going to play, but it exposes it to a different group of people. So
absolutely.
I
really enjoyed last week's episode. I think I told you I listened to it probably like 5 times through or whatever. It's super. Yeah. I mean, you also touched on a lot of stuff that really resonated with me about artists getting paid royalties and whatnot, which is interesting because a minute ago I was saying about how we make pretty good coin with the TV royalties, which is a totally different world than Trip Talk and Kisses Kill, which is, like when you were saying last week about like you don't even get a fucking dime,
Right.
And I know people are playing it. I see it.
Right.
I have the information comes in, and I'm making less than a penny per play.
Right.
And I think it's an important issue because I don't think people really understand how much of a financial black hole being in a band is. You know, in this day and age.
And you're paying to be that artist, and you're paying to record it. And then said radio station or Spotify, now I'm not going to say, I have to say, I'm not 100% how Spotify pays, but I know that my music's on there. And I've never received a dime for any airplay or any downloads. And if I do, it's nothing. And
no, exactly, yeah.
It's really bad. And radio stations can say they pay royalties. They don't pay royalties. The only one I know that pays royalties is Sirius XM because I actually pay it with my subscription.
Yeah.
If that money actually goes to the artist, I have no idea. But if they're only charging me $12 a year with my subscription, okay, I listen to 2 stations. How is that even enough money to support it? If I was paying the royalties to listen to all that music, it seems absurd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
there's nothing that gets me down more, or if there's a really good way to depress myself is to log into my CD Baby account and just look at the page after page of like less than 1 cent. That adds up to like after a year of having an album played, maybe I've made 35 cents or something, it's like, it kind of makes you go, but again, like I said before, I'm in a very fortunate position where I don't rely on the money from my art. So, but I know that that's not the case with most bands, and it's a pretty depressing situation.
And that's not the only thing. It's like some radio stations will say, all right, you're not going to play my Christmas event. If you don't play it, I'm not going to play your music anymore. So they force these bands into promoting their station. They're making advertisement money. I'm telling you that my stuff has been played and I've heard it on the radio, and I'm like, well, where's the royalty from that? I was in a bar and my CDs were in the jukebox, and I'm like, do you pay the royalties on this? And he's like, yep. And I would sit there and I play my at least 10 songs from different albums on it. I never got shit. So I know
it's brutal. It's a brutal business.
It would be nice. You could say you feel that you don't have to rely on it, but it would be nice that, all of these people that are making money off the music were paying you for it.
Well, it's interesting too because, I mean, that would be nice. I don't need to make money from it, but it would be nice if I could pay for the CD pressings with some money that I made from it, or pay for T-shirts or what merch, to be made. I will say that we're again fortunate. Trip Taka got a song in Ghost Rider 2. Or Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Right.
We were fortunate enough to have one of our songs licensed, and just that one license paid for all the pressings for the remix album, all the artwork, all the mastering. So, I don't know if bands can get some songs licensed in film and TV. I'm finding that's a really good way to just kind of make some coin that can help you.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a couple of tracks someone wanted for a movie. I just let them use it, but that was probably my mistake. But I know, like the guys from the 80s band Warrant, they have a company that you can guys. I think it's called Down Boys. I don't know if it's the same as their licensing business, but they have a business where you can put your music up, and then they'll find the place to get it played, whether it's
right.
on Fox Network or something like that. But they have a very successful business doing that.
Yeah, there's a few places I know that do that kind of thing, and yeah, it's quite handy for bands and whatnot.
But it's what I find is not everybody is hardworking as the next guy. So like there's a million bands that I'm gonna play on the show that no one's gonna hear of 4 months from now.
Yeah,
they don't work. They don't have any type of business sense. So they're relying on that royalty
well, that's the
that
thing.
they're never going to get.
I don't want to say it's a full-time job, but it's definitely a very busy part-time job promoting your album and whatnot. And I wish I had been able to do a better job with Kisses Kill. But even just me kind of going on my own, I've been able to kind of make some connections and stuff. But man, if I could do it full-time, that's the thing. It takes so much time and so much effort to go promote and send out packages and emails and hey, that's more money there, right? All the postage and whatnot, that adds up. So
I think those days of trying to get that big record deal and cash in is pretty much over with. I mean, let a small label guide you through the way, and hopefully someone's going to pick you up and put you on a big ass tour.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could say.
There's quite a few small labels that I think are great. I'm not against signing to one. But like right now, for me, the best thing is just to self-release. I mean, then I have complete control. I kind of do everything kind of myself. Obviously, that's not for everybody. Again, I'm fortunate enough to have some nice connections in the music industry, and I went to a music production school, so I kind of learned the business and whatnot. So, not everybody's maybe as savvy or whatnot.
Exactly.
So, but yeah.
I would say about 75% of bands that I talk to are clueless on how the music business even works. I mean, I've come from failed record deal to failed record deal. I mean, certain
and it's
bands
constantly changing, too. That's the other problem. It's like as soon as you learn how it works, it changes, right?
Right,
so
exactly. But what was Trip Talk? Were you signed, or you guys did that independently?
Yep, self-released, same kind of thing. And that was back in the day. I'm just trying to think now how I actually initially made contact with you, and I believe it was through MySpace?
Yes, yep.
Right. So, back in the day when MySpace actually worked and was awesome, I met so many amazing musicians.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, all those guys from Prodigy and KMFDM and stuff, like, they would just respond directly to MySpace messages and stuff. So back in the day, actually, that was a really awesome tool for meeting people, and there's nothing has really quite come close to replacing that.
I have to agree with you 100% there. I mean, they seized a couple of my accounts because they don't believe some of the music ones of mine. I'm like, why would I lie? But I had...
Doesn't even matter. Let them have it.
Right.
It's over. MySpace is over.
I had so many people on there and followers. My show was it was the best way to promote because they allowed people to see the posts that were on there and shit. Unlike Facebook, where they want you to boost the post and all that bullshit. But I had anywhere from 10,000 listeners to when I did Dangerous New Machine interview of 750,000 listeners without MySpace. Amazing. That would have never happened. That was the height of my Facebook,
and it went south overnight, basically. I mean, I remember I would log in and check my messages, everything's cool, and then one day it was like I got this spam message, and then the next day there was about 5 spam, and it was just complete spam from then on. I couldn't even. There was no point in even logging in anymore because it was just complete bullshit that would come into my feed. So,
and almost the world was forced to take Facebook. Basically, I hated it. I didn't like the format of it. I couldn't even get used to it. The only reason I am even on there is because I was in a band that broke up, and I jumped in the account and took it over. So but
Facebook I think can be bad and can be good. At its best, it's a wonderful tool to use, and it's a great way to keep in touch with people and network with people. But it's not quite the same as MySpace. Like, if you took SoundCloud and combined that with Facebook, maybe you'd have something similar, but,
And then you got the whole thing where, not to get off the music subject, but
no worries.
Stupid shit that people post on there. It can just turn, and it just goes viral, and it's just stupid. The stuff that goes, I'm like, The coolest thing I seen lately was this video I just reposted of a homeless guy down in Sarasota, Florida, playing the piano.
Oh,
and
nice.
they were like, everybody's amazed. Well, you know, some people are just down on their luck. If I didn't have a job, that could be me sitting there on the corner, and I could play guitar. Would you be blown away that I mean, it's an awesome video that the guy can still sit down at the piano and play it, but it's not unbelievable that someone that's homeless has a talent. I'm sure there's people out there that were famous actors and musicians that don't have a place to go.
Yeah.
And look at all the famous people now that were homeless before they were even famous. So it's like, but it's actually a cool video, and it's been posted on a few places. Sure. So I think they just like all the news stations on the internet are picking it up. But if you type it in, I'm sure you'll find it in Google.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, Facebook can be, you know, stepping in front of a firing squad if you know, when you voice your opinion sometimes. And so I try to be careful on there. It's been interesting watching grown adults act like teenagers quite often. They're just arguing and stuff. I mean, it's kind of entertaining in a way, but it can be quite frustrating going through the feed sometimes, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's some of the shit's so ridiculous. It's like, really? Did I just watch this? I go, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm a grown man. I'm sitting here on Facebook. It's like, I got to find something better to do with my life.
Well, I do like that people that I have on Facebook come from all different walks of life, all different beliefs and all this. And so I find I actually kind of like that variety, but, you know, a lot of people they like to live in a bubble. So, you know, they don't like that variety, and there's a lot of arguing and nonsense on there. So,
like, I made a comment on a TMZ post that Wyclef Jean is not friends with Donald Trump anymore, and it had nothing to do with what he said about Mexicans. I said, oh, like Donald Trump cares about an irrelevant something. Yeah. An irrelevant turd is what I said, and holy shit, I have Mexican friends. I have nothing against anybody. And I'll always state that, but man, did I get attacked. I go, you people took this shit the wrong way. I wasn't saying Donald Trump said the right thing. I was just saying one stupid ass is just as irrelevant as this stupid ass. Yeah. I'm like, so now I got to justify myself, and then I got people harassing me. But you know what? Every one of them were like, oh, you and your dumb radio show. So on one hand, it worked out. I love the internet.
I love the technology, and I love the internet, and I love the age that we're in, and I love the fact that the internet can give people a voice, unlike any other time in history. That being said, and maybe I'll take some flack for this or whatever, but I don't think everybody should have a voice, you know? Because some people just fill it up with noise and nonsense and whatever. But, you know, it's an interesting time to be alive and see all this stuff happening. So
I hear you. I definitely understand that. It's, I don't know. People are nuts. They take stuff too far. I mean, like this whole thing with the stupid General Lee now. Yeah. All right, you're taking it way too far.
Well, didn't they canceled it on TV Land today or something? Yeah. They won't show the episodes now or something.
It's ridiculous. It really is. It's like, you know what? You can't stop from showing the stupid show. There wasn't a problem with it then. It's like even baseball, okay? You didn't make steroids illegal in the sport, but yet 10 years after something happens, you're going to hold someone responsible for it because someone somewhere said that he did it.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
If it was part of the show, like if they were actually racist moonshine runners and they were actually racist, okay, I get it, right? You know what I mean? But it was just on their car. Like I kind of see both sides, but I think canceling it is definitely going too far. It's kind of silly.
That's actually a good point. It's they shouldn't have canceled it. I mean, first of all, you cancel it for some dumb reason. Because someone out there is going to be selling now the General Lee and making 10 times off the toy than it's worth.
Yeah.
When you could be making money just showing the show and letting life go on. But who the hell knows? So let's talk about the new band.
Yeah, sure.
What's going on? Is the CD being
released? Kiss Is Kill kind of started, I guess I started the album around 2011 or so. Took me a while to finish it. It was released in December of last year. The main reason why I decided to do it was Trip Talker was on hiatus